Have you ever wanted to go to a networking event, but the idea of going on your own just fills you with so much anxiety that you're better off staying at home? I meet a lot of business owners that because they work from home or because they've got an online business, they actually don't leave their house very often. And so then when they realize that potentially they need to step up and do something a little bit different to bring in those dream buyers, dream clients, dream customers, and they think, right, I actually need to attend some networking events. This is the episode for you. I'm going to give you my 3 tips to attending networking events when you don't know anybody there. Because this is the point of networking events, isn't it? I think that networking events have had a really bad rep over the years, that you have to stand and you have to do like a little pitch about what business you do. Now, I have not been, no, I have been to one networking event that was like that. And I feel that that kind of event is quite old school. It's not for me. Now, if that is for you and you are going to just get business, fantastic. But I want to connect with people. I want to go to events where I make friends, where they know my husband's name, for example, because we are talking about things that are to do with our business, but actually just ourselves. Because the thing is that when you're running your own business, you don't have that network of work colleagues anymore. And so you have to create that network for yourself by attending these events. You can do this very successfully online. The Vivid Business Club is an epic example of this. How I host online events once a week so that the members always get connections to people that are like minded. And this is the difference as well between what you can guarantee with networking events and what you can guarantee with online memberships. So for the Vivid Business Club, you know that you are coming into a room where there are people very similar to me, that have a very similar vibe to me, have a big, they're running businesses led with their heart. They're good people. They're kind people. Most of them, actually probably all of them, are freaking hilarious on a level. Like, it's a lot of fun being in the Vivid Business Club. There's a lot of laughs and it's not like a monotonous, when you come to a meet, I've been to online business events where you're like, are you being serious? This is the most dry thing ever. And then you start doing emails in the background. Yeah, you know those events. The Vivid Business Club isn't like that. So I wanted to create an online space that was very like close to my vibe, that I wanted to go to as well as host. So for me to step out of my comfort zone and go to networking events, I didn't need to do it. It was like supplementing my marketing strategy to just meet people. But I wanted to do it because I wanted to connect with people and have conversations where, we're having a cup of tea. And I think in person things, and even for me, I am much more impactful when I am in person, even though I'm very impactful online. But being in front of people, there's just an energy, it's just a different energy. So I chose, and I'm going to give you a bit of a backstory before I share my 3 tips. I chose to go to some networking events. Oh, my first one was last November. So I haven't been going to networking events for very long at all. I've been to the odd thing, but actually dedicating time to going to networking events, I hadn't done it. And I went to one. And luckily, I knew somebody that was going as well. And so I didn't really get out. I got out of my comfort zone a little bit, but it wasn't as discomforting. Is that no, it's not, it wasn't as uncomfortable as it could have been. But then and this was inspired by Hannah, my podcast manager. As she edits the podcast, she listens to all these episodes. But for her, and I was supporting her to grow her business, and she's like, I'm going to start going to networking events. And I was so proud of her for doing that, because I knew what it took for her to get there, for her to go out of her comfort zone and go, do you know what? I'm going to start networking. I've found one. I'm just gonna go for it. And as a result, I've seen her really blossom in her confidence. So I thought, well, if I'm telling people to get out of their comfort zone, I know that that's something that's going to make me uncomfortable. I've got to do it. So I made a plan and started attending some networking events. I was introduced to a networking event. So if you are local to me, there's an amazing networking event hosted by my client Heather called the Rookie CEO Club. It's on the last Monday of every month. And if you want details for that and you're listening to this and you're local, just send me a DM on Instagram. I am Claire Hill. I'm based in Kent. So if you're in the Kent area, the networking that I'm talking about is obviously in Kent because that's where I am, though I am venturing into London a little bit. So I went to my first one and I was pooing my pants. I was literally pooing my pants. I've got this fear of social awkwardness. And I think that that is where I worry that I'm not going to have anything to say, or I start stuttering and I can't say what I want to say. Now, which is hilarious because I've got a freaking podcast. But as you know, sometimes I do stutter over my words. And I think I've got into that position where my brain works faster than my mouth. And so I spill out the words. You might be the same as me. My words spill out and then I stumble over them. And then I just feel like I look like an idiot. And so I think, right, well, I best not talk to anybody. And but I get so I feel like that I'm scared that I'm going to mess up my words on the daily. Like it stops me from talking to mums at the school gates. I just think I don't know what to talk to you about. I'm not interested enough to talk to you. It's hilarious, isn't it? What our doubt does to us. But I think I just thought to myself, networking could become a real game changer for my confidence, my energy levels, as well as my client base and getting me visible. And so I went to the Rookie CEO with an intention of wanting to go every month, but also that I wanted to speak there. Um, as soon as I walked in the room and I took my best mate Bex, listening to the podcast, took my best mate Bex because she's like my right hand woman with all these sort of things. And Bex's ability, she just literally can talk to anybody. And I just think, how can I be more Bex in these situations? So I was trying really, really hard. And then I spoke to the host, Heather, who is now my client, and said, I'd like to speak. And we've spoken about the topics. And then that was secured. And I was like, right, I'm going to speak in March. Amazing. And I was like, okay, I want to go to some more networking. And I'd met with somebody who was running a networking event who needed some support to like get more people to attend. And so I joined forces with her. And now I run my own networking event with her, though we don't use the word networking. It's called Coffee, Cake and Connections. And that is down in the Dockyard in Kent. And it's brilliant. Like every month is completely free. Again, if you want the details for that, it's on Eventbrite. But it's a really lovely, low key way to build connections, have conversations, and have cake and coffee and tea and whatever. But since I made those moves, all of a sudden there's like loads of new networking coming up that I can go to. And I'm getting invited to lots of different places. And so now I have to go on my own. There is like, I can't take Bex everywhere with me. And a couple of weeks ago, no, it was more than a couple of weeks ago. I don't know what I'm talking about. It was a while ago, but I went to this event and I was completely on my own. I didn't know anybody. And it's so wonderful that once I tell you my tips that I learned, how much more confidence I had going into a space where I knew nobody. And this is where your doubt can feed off of this because the fact that I'm an expert in overcoming self-doubt, I know this. My doubt will go, you can't go to those networking events. Nobody wants to speak to you because you're worried about what you're going to say, which is a total contradiction to the fact to what you do in your business. And I reframe it and go, the only reason why I am feeling like that is because it is unfamiliar. The quickest way for me to get confident is to activate my courage and get in the messy middle and ask questions. Like as soon as there is somebody, like there's always somebody there that maybe there's already been there before, you can use that to your advantage and be vulnerable. There is such a human element to vulnerability, but it's associated with strength. And as soon as I was like, okay, I'm going to accept that I'm going to be vulnerable in these situations. I'm going to feel like an imposter because I am. I'm an outsider coming in hoping to join in. Once I got used to that and just accepted it, I thought this is just a phase. This will pass. If I keep being consistent, I'm going to be able to build my confidence in this area and go to any networking event I want or any event all on my own and be able to own my space. So I worked out what the 3 things that I wanted to focus on. And so if I go to a new event, these are the things that I I focus on. I'm repeating myself. These are the things that I focus on in order to activate my courage and get me confident as soon as possible. So, number one, the first thing that I have is a question ready to ask somebody to start a conversation. My go-to question is that the coffee? Because usually at these events you have like two urns and the one's hot water and one's coffee. And I'm always like, which one's the coffee? And somebody will always say, I think that's the coffee. Or if anyone, no one's just going to ignore you and go, who do you think you are asking me where the coffee is? Imagine that you're going to a networking event and you go, find out yourself. It wouldn't happen. It just wouldn't happen. Unless they're absolute twats, it just wouldn't happen. So that's my question. I go in, whoever is near there, go, is which is the coffee? Do you know which one's the coffee? And they'll say that, and I go, is this your first time? That's it. Now they might say yes. If they say yes, I go, mine too. Shall we buddy up? I literally attach myself to somebody. As soon as I'm attached to someone, though, then I go, what do you do? Tell me about your business. And I focus on them. I focus on learning as much as I can about that person in those few minutes as possible. They obviously do ask me about, but I focus on learning about as many people as I can at each event. So I did that. If they say, no, this isn't my first time, then I say, oh, how long have you been coming here? See? So I'm armed. The first question is always, where's the coffee? And then the second question, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. So that's the first thing. I go in prepared, knowing that that's the first thing that I'm going to say. Number two, I practice. Well, I have got quite good at this because of being on podcast interviews, but I'm very confident in how I want to introduce myself. And I was talking to a client about this, about where you can drop parts of your title depending on where you are. So if I am at an event with people that are quite new to being business owners, I will say I am a self-belief and business coach that is an expert in helping you overcome doubt and see, it's just happened. I'm an expert in helping you overcome doubt and procrastination. Now, if I'm at a more established networking where there are business owners that have been in the game for a while, then I will say I'm a business coach that specializes in self-belief and productivity, because there's a difference in the pain points. So for somebody that is already done quite a lot of development, they will recognize, well, I want to have more self-belief and I want to be more productive, so that you can change the tone of it. If I'm somewhere where there is business owners that are new to the game, they are consumed by self-doubt, because that's what happens, and they're consumed by procrastination and not getting things done when they want to. So I use those words. So I bend and shift, and I usually know before I go to that event what kind of people are there. So if your title is the same, like say you're a jewelry designer or you're an artist or you're a social media manager, then it's going to be a little bit easier for you to just show up. But I'm obviously going where sometimes I'm in a room full of dream clients, or there's going to be a couple of people that potentially I could really transform their business. So I have to think before I get there how I want to introduce myself. So that's number two. Know exactly how you want to introduce yourself before that. And sometimes people go, so how do you do that? I'm like, I just get everything out of the way to make your dreams come true. That is applicable to anybody, because then I'm like, oh, I wonder if you could take this out of the way. And then usually in that moment, I give them a couple of minutes of free coaching if they ask that question. Because I find that it's like you're tested to see if you really know what you're doing, because there are some coaches out there who are absolute dog shit and ruin it for everybody. So just saying, not everyone. I don't actually know many like that, but there are people out there that are talking shit, and it's important for me to show up to these events with full integrity and authenticity, so people are like, oh, I trust her. So that's what I do. Number three, as soon as I've got my coffee cup, I hold it and I sip it for a very long time. I find that I feel less nervous when I have something in my hand. One of the reasons why I now have the microphone in my hand, because I just feel so much more confident when I've got something in my hand. It's like people say, like when they play guitar, they have to have a guitar when they're singing and stuff, obviously, or a mic. I'm just performing, obviously. But I really find that my anxiety goes right down if I'm holding something. And what has happened once before is I didn't have something. And so then I picked up my phone and I just think that's so rude. And then I realized what I was doing. I was like, you don't have to hold something. But I feel, and I don't have to, but I want to. And I also stand up straight as well. So there's one thing that I try, like sometimes if I'm feeling nervous, and I'm sure you're the same, like you'll feel like you shrink, and I have to consciously like open up my shoulders and stand straight so that I can own the room. And sometimes I'll have my hand on my hip as well. It's like that superhero stance. There's a real connection with your body in your body language when you're standing in a really strong pose to elevate your confidence. So, in summary, one, I would really like, first up, I would really encourage you to find a networking event. If you're local to me, come to mine. Like again, if you want more details, DM me on Instagram. I am Claire Hill, and I will share all the details of the ones that I'm going to. Um, I I would urge you to try something. If you haven't done it before, step out of your comfort zone and attend an event, and attend where you think, yeah, try a low ticket one first. You don't have to sign up for a subscription. There are so many networking events out there where you can just turn up, or they're free, or they're just a fiver. So pick one that you feel really comfortable with going to first. And then these are the 3 tips in summary to help you if you're going to a networking event and you don't know anybody. Number 1, get a question ready to ask as soon as you walk in. My favorite one is that the coffee? Then you can start a conversation more easily. Number 2, make sure you're very confident in how you want to be known before you walk in, so that you're armed. When somebody says to you, what do? You know how to respond. But remember to focus on getting to know other people first. It puts you at ease and helps you to connect with people more quickly. And number 3, hold a coffee cup or a cup of tea, something in your hand, because it will reduce your anxiety levels. Let me know if you go to a networking event off the back of this episode. I'm so proud of you already if you decide to do it. It honestly has exploded my confidence, my networking ability, my connections, my client base. It's just been amazing for me. And I'm really investing a lot of time in it. I absolutely adore it, as well as attending online networking as well. If you are interested in coming and joining the Vivid Business Club for 7 days free, that's all, like 7 days. Come and find us about us. Every week we meet up. So every week you get a chance to experience what the Vivid Business Club is all about and connect with like-minded people that are on your level, where we have beautifully uplifting conversations all of the time. If you've got a challenge, you have a pool of people there ready to support you and lift you up, as well as all the other training and resources to help you make more money in your business. So that's the Vivid Business Club. I would love you to come and try us out for 7 days, and I would love you to stay a member. I mean, there's not many people that try us and go away. So if you're ready, we're there for you. Don't forget to subscribe and save as well. Have a wonderful rest of your day, whatever you're doing. I'll speak to you soon. Thank you so much for listening to the No Rest for the Vivid podcast. Written, produced and hosted by Claire Hill, and music has been composed by my brother, Phil Vick.